Welcome into the Common Dad Podcast, Season 2. Thank you so much for listening and or watching in the morning, evening, or afternoon. I am, of course, joined by Andrew. I am Justin.
What's up?
Andrew, how are you feeling on this fine evening?
It's a beautiful day in South Florida.
Is it, though? Another.
Oh, it's always beautiful down
Isn't
here. Even
there-
when it's a hurricane, it's like the hurricane just kind of blows through for a few minutes, and then it's, bright and sunny. And
Florida's one of those states that needs an occasional bath, it feels like.
well, it's all right.
Yeah,
We're Florida.
I mean,
We're different. We accept what we are.
you're sweaty is what you are, so it works.
It's a bit humid.
A lot of
It,
BO.
it can get a little moist at times.
Oh, yes. I mean, when I lived there, it was just a constant swamp situation from start to finish. And my car didn't have air conditioning when I...
But we love it, I'll just keep moving. Just run the red lights and just keep moving. That way the air keeps flowing.
Oh, yeah. And they're not going to pull you over for running a red light anyway, so...
They're too busy.
Yeah, that's true. I'm horrible. We've all been sick for like 3 weeks. This sucks.
Oof.
Not having a good time. All three kids running fevers, which is just great. So instead of an alcohol drink tonight, I'm running on the White Lightning here.
Monster.
And if you're watching, you'll know it's a
Nothing-
monster.
Nothing
White
like
Lightning-
Monster when you're sick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the recipe to recovering quickly is little to no sleep and mass amounts of caffeine. Is that correct?
Sounds about right.
It feels good. My heart's really. It's got a weird heartbeat right now, but I think that's.
So we had
Should be
a
fun.
fun father-son moment not too long ago here.
Okay.
We just got back from a father-son trip to Ohio to
Yes,
watch football.
Yes, you did.
I took my son to his first Ohio State football game. To the whole day of football. Pre-game skull
beautiful.
session. In the park watching the band. We actually got to go on the field for a short period.
Now, how
Watch him.
engaged was he like for the game?
For the game, well, he was locked in.
He was, okay.
For the parts he could
Nice.
see. It was one of those. He was standing on the bench. He's 7.
Mm-hmm.
He was standing on the bench. It's if you've ever been to Horseshoe Stadium, it's pretty tightly packed in there.
Yeah, they cram him in there for sure.
One of the largest stadiums, but it's pretty tightly packed when
Yeah.
they do that. And thankfully, the guy behind us was okay with him standing up. He could see kind of next to him still, so he was fine with it. But even then, anytime there was even half of a play, it's like build up, wall of people.
Yep. And it's like, oh,
You can't see anything.
sounds exciting.
The first time it happened, he was just like, "What just happened?" It's just like he
same thing
started
that's gonna
to get
happen for
super
the next 3
excited,
hours,
and then
buddy.
just a wall of people stood up in front of him, and he could not
Yeah.
see a thing.
Yeah.
So like he had to kind of learn to like just feed off of me and the
Just
crowd
accept
and
it.
scream and yell and have fun with that,
Yeah.
and then see what happens kind of afterwards. He could see what was happening, and
Could
there
he
were
at
a
least
couple
see the
monitors that were
screen?
close. Yeah, well, there were monitors that were closer. We couldn't
Okay.
actually, from our seats, we couldn't see the jumbotron.
Mhm.
But we had some monitors close to us that we were able to see, and
Okay.
talking to them. It was a cool day,
Yeah.
because it's obviously college football is so much more than the game itself. There's
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
that happens before and after, and the crowd feeding off of each other. So that was a pretty cool moment.
And you got Script, Ohio in, and you got Carmen, Ohio in.
We did Carmen, Ohio at the end. Script, Ohio, we were on the field, so it was a little,
yeah, that's
tough
right.
to see.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
But being on the field, it was cool to see. The cooler part, I would say, would have been the actual band entrance.
That's the cool.
watching
when
the-
they're coming
we
down
were-
the ramp.
And we were on the ramp side, right by the end zone. So we were able to. They literally came right in front of us and then took the field. That was pretty cool.
When they hit those drums, man, goosebumps every time. You hit the drums in the middle of the stadium, and it just echoes throughout. Oh,
Yep.
It's absolutely That's the underrated part of the band right there. Script Ohio's incredible, but the entrance with just the drums. That's
He
pretty
heard the
sweet.
song because they played it in the skull session.
Right.
They play all of them, all the
Yeah.
major ones at least. So he
So-
had heard the song, and he's seen it on TV. But definitely a very, very cool moment to to have.
Did you
with
get
him.
in a little "We Don't Give a Damn" for the whole state of Michigan? Did we learn that song?
We didn't participate in any of those.
But we heard it, right?
They were there.
Yeah,
For sure. It's November.
Yeah, it's
There's only one game that matters all season long, but especially in the month of November, all focus is kind of directed towards one.
Our sons will eventually curse, and if that's the first reason they curse, I don't know about you, but I'm fully signing off on that. Fully signing off.
Well, I would say the bigger cursing moment was the coaches and players and the band during the Skull Session. The best band in the land, the best damn team in the land, the best damn fans in the land.
damn.
Just, and every guy that came up to talk in the Skull Session was, we're going to need you, the best damn fans in the land, to cheer on this best damn team in the land with this best damn band in the land.
Yeah.
Every person.
There's not much you can
Daddy,
do.
I'm the best damn fan.
Sure are, buddy.
Yes, you are,
there's not
bud.
much
Yes, you are.
At that point, just get him a shirt that says "I'm the best damn fan" and embrace it. That's all you can do. Well, we have a relatively, not relatively, we have an uncomfortably large show tonight. Uncomfortably large. We got 16 side items here we've got to go through. And we've been doing 8, of course, but any red-blooded American that's on the verge of diabetes is not putting one side item
No, you can't have one. You have one
on their
main.
holiday plate. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you could go one if all the other sides sucked and there was just one good one. So but you're doubling it up. You're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could, but don't eat there. That's not. If there's only one good side, just don't go there. I don't even care if it's your family. Don't go. So we have.
Is it really a side if it's just one?
Yeah. I don't know. It depends.
If you have one main and one side, what's the difference between the two?
I don't know, but
what
I know
stops the side from
I
being
know it
a main?
when I see it. Well, okay, so you would never go to a restaurant and be like, "Ooh, I'll have the asparagus." Just like that.
All right. Well, hold on. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Okay, let's have it.
We're gonna have one side on our plate, and your choice is asparagus.
No, just an example, and a bad one.
Oh, well, that was a terrible example.
All right, so how this is going to work, people. Oh, and by the way, I didn't introduce the topic in any way, shape, or form. This will be our side dish for our holiday plate.
In case you couldn't
series.
gather that.
In case you couldn't gather that. Well, I mean, food is the number 2 topic on this show behind booze, number 3 being fatherhood. So it's not uncommon that we just talk about food for a stupid amount of time. With that being said, a couple of rules. This is a little different. We're going to do 16 because we need 2, so we're going to break this thing down. But when we get to the top 2, those are going to be the 2 sides. And then they can battle for supremacy, but we're going to eat both of them anyway. So all that being said, first of all, I don't know if I should say this for the beginning or the end, but since I just said it, are the sides better than the mains?
They can be.
I think so too. It depends on where you
They
go.
can be essential to making the meal because now some people, I think to a degree it depends where you are.
Yeah.
Some people are the type that nothing on the plate touches another thing. Everything is its own individual item, and it's eaten as an individual item.
Yes.
You could even break that down further. Some people will eat the entirety of one item before moving on to the next one, and they'll kind of sequentially work around the plate.
Those people scare me.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Then you have the people that'll take a bite of each thing, but each thing is separate. And then you have the people that it's just a plate full of mash, everything mixed together, piled on top of each other, all the flavors mixing and combining. And
yeah,
I'm okay with about 20% mixing, and then the rest kind of separate. As an example, it would be the applesauce mixing in with some of the other things on there. That's okay. The gravy. If you're putting gravy on mashed potatoes and some of it gets on the turkey, oh no.
Listen, if you see
that's
somebody
okay.
just eating gravy out of a bowl during Thanksgiving, Kick them out of your house, and if they are subscribing, make them unsubscribe.
Well, does
That's
gravy count
psychotic.
as a side? I think the side is mashed potatoes with gravy.
Yeah, gravy is just a. I don't know what it is. It's a. Is it a condiment?
It's a sauce. It's a sauce.
Yeah, it's almost
It's a
a
sauce.
It's definitely not a
Same
full
as like
side.
what you would say, like a
Yeah.
ketchup or barbecue sauce. It's a
Don't
sauce.
don't get a bowl of gravy on Thanksgiving.
But that
or
being said,
Christmas.
if some mashed potatoes and gravy get on your fork in the middle
Oh,
of a
yes.
turkey bite,
that's okay.
that's all right.
That's preferred. So, anyways, first round, crispy.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
What's our drink? Because we've already figured out the drink on this, right?
Sure, we went with the bourbon, the brown water.
Just a bourbon of your choice.
Yeah, of course.
And our main course.
is a brisket smoked. I
So
believe.
stupid me needs to stop talking about turkey.
Right. I
'cause
mean,
it's brisket. So if some
Yeah,
mashed
it's brisket.
potatoes and gravy gets on your brisket, it's okay.
and it's always okay.
All right. So bourbon, brisket. Now we're doing two sides.
Now we got the sides. So crispy, which is key, roasted potatoes versus the mashed potatoes. Potato on potato crime here. You take the lead on this one.
Okay, so I want a clarification here, and
Okay.
maybe we need to go to the judge. I don't know.
Mhm.
I see there's so many different types of mashed potatoes, and I would argue
Your
there's
favorite
an entirely different. I knew you were going to say that,
type. Of course.
but I think there's an entire other subset here of smashed potatoes
All right. Well,
that's different than mashed potatoes.
right. We're
So
just gonna do mashed
Are
potatoes.
we doing smashed/mashed,
No, mashed.
or just mashed? Ugh,
Yeah.
smash
Smash them, put them in a stew. Whatever.
It's
that
gonna
fat
be
hobbit
mashed
says.
potatoes, for sure. But
Yeah.
I may have gone with the smashed over the mashed. But it's mashed.
Yeah, I mean, I like the crispy roasted potatoes, but kind of what you said, I like the idea I can mix those mashed potatoes in. It's just a lot more versatile. You could make the little gravy boat in there. Yeah, mashed potatoes all day long. Fully agree there. Red potatoes, if possible, with a little skin in there.
I see.
No.
Now you're getting closer to the smashed.
Close, but not. A little chunk in there, but not too much. So now we're going on to vegetables for God knows why. Roasted asparagus.
Neither of them are going to make it to the final round.
No, but this one, roasted asparagus versus the green bean casserole. Now, the green bean casserole has vegetables in it, but it's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. And I like my green bean casserole with the fake onions on the top. You know, the ones you just buy in a
Fake
can
onions.
that don't expire. They're just like crispy. I don't even know if they're onions, but I love asparagus. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel very holiday to me. And if I'm having brisket and asparagus on the plate, it doesn't feel right for a holiday meal. So I'm going with the green bean casserole on this one.
Interesting. See, I would have gone with the roasted asparagus. Now, don't get me wrong. Neither of these is going to make it to the final round. We know
No,
that.
it won't. I don't know. Green
But
bean casserole.
it's not going to be green bean casserole. I'll do some asparagus because I could put like 2 on the side of the plate and then focus on everything
Yeah.
else.
True. Makes your pee stink though. And if you're not at your house, you're just
Not really
stinky
my
peeing
problem.
all over.
That doesn't
You're
bother
absolutely
me. I don't give a
right.
shit.
That is absolutely somebody else's problem. Stinky pee. All right. So since we don't have a third today, we do have a judge. Judge says green bean casserole.
Wow.
In your
remember
face.
that.
It is superior. So green bean casserole, of course, advances now. Roasted carrots, for some reason.
They
versus-
can be good.
Sure, if that's all there is, I'm sure there's a nice little way to cook them up.
But this
I'll
is like high school football versus the #1 team in the country here.
versus stuffing.
It's
Yeah,
stuffing.
Get your carrots away from my stuffing. And yeah, no. I would take the best. I would take the worst stuffing there is versus the best carrots you have. Give me the worst stuffing. Don't care. Drown it in gravy.
Drown it. Exactly. Mashed potatoes,
Doesn't
gravy, and
matter.
stuffing.
Yep, doesn't matter. Bacon Brussels sprouts. The bacon is key there.
No, bacon
Versus-
Brussels sprouts are really good.
They're good. Versus the sweet potato, however you like to dress that thing up. You take the lead on this one. This is interesting.
Well, see, I'm not a sweet potato fan, and I know our judge is, so she's probably going to be a little judgy on this one, as she always is. But it's the bacon Brussels all day long.
If it didn't have bacon in it, I would probably go with the sweet potato because I do like the sweet taters. Now, if those were sweet potato tots, could have me there because I'm a 7-year-old. No, I'm going bacon Brussels sprouts too, just because of the bacon. Just because of the bacon. Yeah. And they're kind of like chips. Like they're nice and easy. You can scoop those things up, no problem. And
it depends how you prepare them. There's a lot of different ways to do bacon Brussels.
But
we've had them crispy, and we've had them a little bit more like well done, softer. But
all right,
it's
so
bacon Brussels.
This next matchup bothers me. Because what the hell is an onion pie?
No, it's out. We already decided.
Versus cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce is an absolute staple of a holiday meal.
It is, and that's why I'm disappointed we're only picking two because and cranberry sauce is exactly what it says in the name. It's a sauce. It's not a side. Yeah. It's a sauce.
Listen, maybe at the end of this, it's our podcast. We do what we want. We're throwing a little cranberry sauce on whatever the hell we want.
Look, ultimately, at the end of the day, here, what I'm building, what I'm building, and you'll see this as this comes to an end, is I'm building the post-holiday meal.
Right.
I'm taking everything from our holiday meal and I'm slapping it between two pieces of bread for lunch the next day.
Yes. Now we're talking.
And so it's essential to have two sides plus your main and a sauce.
Right.
To bring it all together. And you put that combination of those three ingredients plus a sauce between the two slices of bread. So I argue here that cranberry sauce is not a side. It's a sauce.
So let's do this. Cranberry sauce advances.
An onion pie, yeah, it's gone.
It's a pie of onions. I don't know.
It's gone.
When I think about it, I'm thinking of nasty farts. Just nasty farts. Anyway, we reserve the right to bring cranberry sauce back in any way we see fit.
Victory.
Exactly. So next one. Rolls versus salad.
Not a challenge.
Does it look like I have ever chosen a salad over a roll in my entire life? If I can have a salad and a roll, sure. If I'm choosing, roll all day long. All day long.
I'm a carnivore. I don't care for salad.
No, there's
my food eats the salad, and then I eat that.
Right.
I'm going with the rolls.
The only time a salad is good is when there's like other actual food in it.
Right.
Like a Cobb salad. Is it
the
really
only
a salad?
problem with rolls on a holiday meal though is bread takes up space and it weighs down.
That will be
it absorbs all that moisture and weighs everything down. But it's definitely winning in a solo matchup between rolls and salad.
Oh, sure.
It's the rolls all day.
It's not close. This one, macaroni and cheese versus the cornbread.
Now, we have a family member that makes like a cornbread, corn casserole. I don't know what you want to call it, but it is absolutely delicious.
Well, we have a corn casserole on here. So this is not corn. This is straight cornbread. A lot of corn during the holidays.
We have two corn sides, but we had to make cranberry sauce its own thing.
I don't know.
Really?
Listen, I think
Who
we have
drew
four.
This up?
I think
Fire
we have
them.
4 corn sides. A lot of corn. An uncomfortable amount of corn.
All right, mac and cheese done.
What's the movie where Interstellar where they're just all they have
How
is corn?
does onion pie make it? And
onion pie didn't make it. But
it made the list.
Wait, what did we pick? I mean, we went mac and cheese, right? I mean, I like corn.
I'm choosing mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese is mac and cheese. And also, if we're going mac and cheese, nobody ever does this on the holiday.
We need to go with 4 sides.
Give me. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm gonna ultimately do. Give me Velveeta and shells. I don't need your fancy homemade mac and cheese. I don't need.
No,
I'll eat it,
I disagree
but I don't
with that to a level because I make a mean mac and cheese, like homemade mac and cheese, not Kraft. It's fully homemade. I make the cheese sauce myself.
I mean, I'll try it. Corn, another corn versus this is so much corn. Corn on the cob versus a corn casserole. Yeah, it's just so no, but we're just not pooping. It's just not gonna happen. Just stuffed up.
Corn doesn't stuff you up. It just comes
It
out
just
looking the
doesn't
exact
do
same.
anything. Yeah, you're right. It's just I'm going with the casserole all day.
Oh,
And I love a corn casserole. Love a
I don't know
moist
if you
corn
actually
casserole.
read this one off. Maybe I missed it. Corn on the cob versus corn casserole.
I did. I read it.
Okay, I missed
You
that.
were banging your head against your microphone.
Excuse me. Corn casserole all day. Because if you do corn on the cob, it's going to get stuck in your teeth, and you're going to be picking that out for the rest of the day. And
Corn
corn casserole all day.
corn on the cob is like a walk around food. I like it, but I need to be like mobile for it. It needs to be because I
Well,
can't sit down, kind of.
And corn on the cob usually for holidays is relatively basic.
Yeah.
It can be so much better. You can do
You're
up
right.
corn so much better. Mexican street corn as an example, and it's
Yes.
so much better than just regular corn.
Right.
But I'm not going to do that on a holiday.
No, that's
Like,
outrageous.
it's
Corn
not
casserole.
doing that on a holiday.
All right, round two. Mashed taters versus the green bean casserole.
Not even a challenge. Nope. It's not a challenge for you, is it?
I would actually go with a green bean casserole. On this
You
one.
would go out the front door and leave my house
I would go with it. I love a green bean casserole. Love it.
over mashed potatoes and gravy.
I freaking love a green
You've
bean
never had
casserole,
my
man.
mashed potatoes then.
It's so good. I'll eat your mashed potatoes if you make them for me. I will. But
No, it's
I
mashed
like
potatoes all day, and the judge has
And the
already
judge
ruled in
has
with mashed
spoken.
potatoes.
I'm not mad.
because
them. I'm not mad. I'm
It's
just
mashed
saying.
potatoes, and I think our audience would agree. But if you have so take the best mashed potatoes you've ever had
Yep.
versus the best green bean casserole, and which one's better? In a solo matchup,
Yeah.
the best mashed potatoes,
you're
garlic, white cheddar, mashed potatoes, whatever that is.
All right. Yeah, a little chunky.
It's mashed potatoes.
All right. Mashed potatoes. Okay, stuffing versus the bacon Brussels sprouts. It's stuffing, and it's
All
stuffing,
day?
and it's stuffing. They win 10 times out of 10.
I'm going to take the bacon and add it to the
Sure. Sure.
mashed potatoes.
We're gonna take the
with the
best-
stuffing.
Best part of the Brussels sprouts, and we're going to put them. And really, the cool thing about mashed potatoes is you can throw whatever you want in the mashed potatoes. You could be like, "Hey, look, I made bacon Brussels sprout mashed potatoes." You just put them in
Delicious.
there. You win every time. It's great. Cranberry sauce versus. I'm dying. Excuse me. Versus
is tough.
the rolls. I go back to what you said.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. I like a little sweet Hawaiian roll, but it
Well, but this is where I would challenge that cranberry sauce is a sauce, and so as a side. Okay, so are you going to
You're-
sit there
yeah.
and eat cranberries like spoonfuls of cranberry sauce by itself?
not well.
You
People
might.
are looking.
I know plenty of people who do. Some people prefer the canned cranberry sauce that's like sliced.
There's
Some people
something-
prefer the like really chunky
There's
like
a-
cranberries inside of a sauce that they make like, and it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's delicious.
There's a cheap, trashy part of me that comes out during the holidays that I really love. I want the canned cranberry. I want the French's
You go
onion.
canned. See, I go
want
with the
I
like
want-
sauce.
I want the
chunky
cheap
sauce.
I don't know why. I mean, I'll eat whatever, but I like the cheap version of almost all these, and I don't know why. I want to do. I'm going to manipulate it. At least this is what I want to do. I want to take rolls just because we're going to bring cranberry back later, baby.
Cranberry
gonna
gets
do
a
it.
pass all the way to the
Yeah,
end.
it
'cause
doesn't
it's
matter.
a sauce. So
It's got a fast pass.
rolls advances because
Right.
cranberry sauce
It's
is
coming back.
actually moved on to the championship.
Perks of having your own podcast. Mac and cheese versus the corn casserole is so much starch.
This is a tough one.
Like I said before, I love a freaking corn casserole, man. I absolutely
I do
look
too.
forward to it. It's one of my all-time favorite sides.
It can be really heavy, but so can
It's
mac and cheese.
really
I mean, it's
heavy, yeah.
literally just cheese and pasta.
None of these are a light meal. I'm going the corn casserole.
The best corn casserole versus the best mac and cheese. It's the corn casserole.
It's the corn casserole, baby. Let's go. I'm excited to see corn casserole advance. I didn't think it would. Oh, son of a. Mashed potatoes versus stuffing. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but it's mashed potatoes.
No. It's
It's mashed
stuffing.
potatoes. No, it's
You can't have a holiday meal without stuffing.
Do you have stuffing for Easter?
That's not the holiday we're talking about, and you know it. And I would.
Doesn't matter.
Everybody knows
As
it.
a
It's
side,
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
As a side, yes, you can mix all of the sides together. But I don't know. I normally have a very small amount of stuffing and a very, very, very sizable amount of mashed potatoes. And
Okay,
I mix my stuffing with other things to eat it. I don't just eat spoonfuls after spoonfuls after spoonfuls of stuffing.
If you're
I will
back,
sit there and eat spoonful after spoonful after spoonful of mashed potatoes.
If you're going back the next day and you're making that post-dinner sandwich,
It's mashed potatoes and stuffing.
what would you
with
rather
my
have
brisket
on it?
and cranberry sauce.
Man, I'm stuffing all day. All day. What's
the sandwich
the
has me questioning here, though. If I had to
Oh
pick one of the two for the sandwich,
Yeah.
if I had to pick one of the two for the sandwich, I can only it's a brisket sandwich with either mashed potatoes or stuffing. It would probably be the stuffing.
Listen, the judge just says mashed potatoes. You have one more chance to right your wrong, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Are you sure you want to go with the mashed potatoes?
I'm gonna go stuffing purely for the post holiday sandwich.
Yes. Let's go.
The
Moving on
brisket
quickly
with
before you change your
stuffing,
mind.
The brisket with stuffing smashed between two slices of bread
You can't
with
beat
the
it.
cranberry sauce.
Yeah. It's a shame those two got matched up just now, too, because I feel like those two could have been the top two.
Mashed potatoes just don't go great in a sandwich.
Yeah, they're a little. Yeah, it's a little tough there.
Rolls, I'll make it work. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, no, we can pull it off. Rolls versus the corn casserole,
well, see the rolls. That's the bread of the sandwich.
but it doesn't have to be.
It's corn casserole all day.
Yeah, it's corn casserole. It's corn casserole. At the end of the day, a roll is just a roll. Corn casserole is so much more. Okay, final. Oh no, we got our top two. That's it. Here we are. Yes, this is what I wanted. I'm so excited. So
With a runner-up, though.
with
We
a
do have a
runner-up.
runner-up.
Yes. So we are stuffing and corn casserole with coming back the cranberry sauce just drizzled on that thing like a real fat boy. Yes.
And the
That's what
runner-up
I'm talking about.
is mashed potatoes, right?
Sure, the runner up is mashed potatoes, absolutely.
Over
yeah.
rolls. So in the runner-up match, it would have been mashed potatoes versus rolls.
Sure, all day long. And
It's
mashed potatoes destroys them. Mashes them, if you will. Okay, just for funsies.
Smashes.
Just for funsies, stuffing versus the corn casserole. What is the superior
It's corn
side?
casserole.
I think it is.
It is.
I love it. I love it. It's so, and I don't know why, because I almost never eat. Well, you don't really eat stuffing or corn casserole outside of the holidays ever. But I don't know what it is about the corn casserole.
Corn casserole could be a meal in and of itself too.
It's
I would just eat that.
And you know what I'm doing when I'm feeling real fat? You just pick that thing up like a piece of pizza. If it's sturdy enough, you get
The one we have is not sturdy enough.
you get the well.
Oh no.
You have to like let it sit out for like a day, like refrigerate
I
it to where it
still
really
don't even
sets. Yeah, I mean you could do a sloppy casserole too, which is good. But like if you get more of a firm one and then you get the edge piece, just pick it up like a piece of pizza. Could you use that for bread? Oh man, I might try it.
No, I
might
want
try
bread.
it.
I want bread around it. It's in the sandwich.
Yeah, man, I'm getting.
But I mean,
stop
imagine that
Yeah.
post-Thanksgiving sandwich: 2 thick slices of bread,
all day.
brisket, cranberry sauce.
Can you put the corn casserole on it?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I don't know if
right in
I've
the
ever-
middle of it.
Why not? Why not? Okay.
Sandwich it right between 2 slices of brisket. You put a little bit of corn casserole and stuffing in between 2 slices of brisket with some cranberry sauce and 2 slices of bread. Throw it in the microwave for a few minutes and then just chow down.
I don't know if we've ever had a more passionate episode. Like I am
No, in season 1 we definitely did.
with what? Was
You
it
lost your
around-
mind with the shopping episode.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm unstable, so That makes sense. By the way, I went grocery shopping today.
And you left the cart out.
No, not ever. I didn't use a cart. I used a basket and actually had an appropriate amount of food in it. Normally when I get the basket, I just way too much crap, and then I got to go get a cart. But anyway, I live in Georgia, of course, and I had my Ohio State sweatshirt on, the way as you do, and this guy had a Georgia shirt on, and instead of saying like "Go Dogs" or "Hope we see you in the playoff," he barked at me, loud, multiple times. Yeah, and then smiled at me as if he got me or something. And I didn't say anything. I didn't even know how to react. Like a full-grown man just barked at me at Kroger. So, yeah, that's. I don't even know.
Every fan base has their crazies.
Absolutely.
You know as well as I do. There are a few fans you see on TV that go to every single football game.
Yeah.
Literally, one of them is called the Buckeye Nut.
Yeah, he's not.
We have our crazies too.
Yeah, no, they all do. They all do. Just a little, PSA. Don't bark at people at the grocery store. Just don't do it. I feel like that's a pretty common.
Hey, man, it's 2022. You shouldn't judge him, man.
Do whatever you want. Hey, maybe he identified as a dog. I didn't ask. I was rude.
He's a Georgia fan.
Anyway, next week we're wrapping this thing up with our dessert. And I will have a full-blown dissertation on why pumpkin pie sucks. And we'll talk about it for sure. So, plate's looking good right now, looking real strong. We're going to wrap this thing up next week with a little dessert. As always, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching, thank you even more. Go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. Instagram, _common_dad, and on Facebook at The Common Dad. We will see you next week. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of The Common Dad Podcast. Let us know if you liked the video by giving us a thumbs up. Even if you didn't, give it a thumbs up anyway. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video. Also, do not forget to follow us on Instagram at _common_dad, and on Facebook at The Common Dad, so you can let us know your thoughts on today's episode.